Hey boys and girls, it's the Anthro Metal, and got another badassery video for you this week, and again from Black Ops, just because I'm trying to get rid of all these. And again, this is on WMD. I think the last one I threw up on here was from WMD2, and man, I don't know what it is. I just really like this map. This is probably my favorite map in Black Ops. I liked a lot of the map, most of them, but this one I don't know why. I was just always pretty good with it. I was actually really good on all the maps with snow on them. Go figure. Don't ask me why. I was just good at those. So, anywho, moving on. So today I want to discuss the recent unveiling of the new Xbox system, also known as the Xbox One, which out the gate I don't really have a strong start for it because I'm not really too fond of the name. I mean, I get what it's trying to do. It's trying to be like, hey, the one entertainment console or one place for all of your entertainment right there in your living room, but honestly, it's like, guys, come on, this is a video game console. Why do you have to go to such lengths to put something out there that it's so dedicated to doing things other than playing video games? Not only that, but the video game functionality of it. I mean, just with the rumors we have so far of it and what it can and can't do and what's been said and what hasn't been said, it's kind of disheartening when you think about it. I mean, especially because of the run that the 360 has had and even the PS3 has had. When you look at those two systems, it's been, I mean, 7 years between the last two systems. Before then, the 360 came out, I think it was 4 years from the first Xbox. And, look at the run it's had. It's been longer than almost any other console in history. And it's enjoyed such a great life, and for the developers for Microsoft just to be like, no, it's not backward compatible. Like, oh, well, what about this library? I mean, this massive, massive library of games that we have. I mean, it's really unparalleled in the history of video games. I mean, there's so many fantastic games out there for this system and for the PS3 too. And it's like, and you're just gonna throw away the support for all of that. I just find it so disheartening to be like, well, go out and buy a 360, and unless they plan on making the 360. Keeping support around for it, because there's just so much. I just feel like there's so much life left in this system. I know it's old. It's fairly old. It's almost a decade old, but you can easily update the hardware and make it to where I know that the technology is kind of outdated, but you can update that hardware and still make it be able to play these old games. And there's gonna be plenty of people that are gonna be turned off by it. Personally, I have over 70 Xbox 360 games, and one of those is going to happen whenever I have to buy the Xbox One, or if they're like, all right, well, we stopped making the 360. Like, well, crap, I mean, it's hard enough to find an original PlayStation or even a PlayStation 2 now to play all the old games I have for those, and too bad both of mine died. But moving on. So that's my issues with the backward compatibility of it. I'm really disappointed that they're not including that. I was really disappointed whenever PS3 first turned away from that. I could understand Xbox not really including it on the 360. I mean, there were great games on the 360 or the first Xbox. I can't even call it the Xbox One anymore because that name's taken again. But there were a lot of great games on those systems, but I can understand backward compatibility not being an issue. I was disheartened with the PS3 not including it after the first ones did, just because it was. Just because the PS2 was one of the, I think it's still the best-selling console of all time, and not to be able to play those games even on an updated function list. I mean, like I have tons of PS1 games that are amazing, and now I can't even. There's nothing around to play those because it's hard as hell to find a PS1 or much less a PS2. I know everybody's going to tell me, well, hey, you can get those games on the PSN, but you know what? I bought those games once. I don't want to freaking buy them again. I bought them when they came out. I have them on the disc. They're still great games. Please just let me play them again. And going off of that, I'm going to go into, and here's a dog just saved my life right there. But, going off of that, I want to talk about the whole games attached to gamer tags and not being able to play games on friends' systems. That, or not being able to lend your games out to friends and stuff like that. I think that's absolute crap. I mean, it's junk. I mean, I understand PC gamers have been doing that for a long time. Don't get me wrong. I have PC games, and I understand that, but it's a little bit different than a console games. Consoles are not PCs. They're, and there's such a social thing around it. You know, like how are you going to be able to, especially with friends? You know, you get a, think of it as music. You know, you buy a music CD, you let your friend borrow it or something like that. I don't know how many of you buy CDs anymore because, you know, I guess I'm kind of old school that I like CDs still, and I even like records. But anyways, this rant could go on, but I'm gonna have to cut it short just because this video is about over. That match was an absolute rapage. There's my score, 32-0. I was kind of pissed because I almost beat my best KD ratio, but didn't. So there's 32-0, and I will see you guys later. Anthem Metal out.